Okay, let's look at uranium. We'll look at CCJ as we do. So, as we talked about, we have a swing high on the board, day 13. And again, as always, take a look at the links in the description. Cycles 101, written content, some video content, and also previous uranium video, broader market video, get a sense of some context. So, we do have that swing high on day 13. Again, this is the daily chart for CCJ. So that is below 29.86, right? And so we're a good distance below that here. What was that? So Friday was day 18. It was a gap down day. We can see just just slightly maybe, but we closed red, kind of a little bit of a hammer. So we're getting a little bit later in the daily cycle, and it's still, I mean, definitely holding form. I mean, but what we do have to be, aware of is we have broader markets starting to pull back here, and most importantly, that FOMC announcement on Wednesday is really going to tell us the direction. Are we going to get another small short rally and then a really sharp move to lower lows below the June low, or are we going to get something a little bit more sustained? I think we just have to watch. But this is clearly getting pulled down with the broader market. And if we look at the weekly chart, so we talked about this in the last update. We did finally make a low below the previous week's low. And it looks like next week we're setting up to, best case scenario, open up an inside week. Worst case scenario, also leaning towards very possible, is to just make a new low on the weekly. Again, this move here definitely looks like, a rising bearish wedge, let's say. And so you can imagine a test of the 26 area at least, very easily. We'll have to see what happens when we get there, how price reacts. On the monthly level, not looking super hot. You can see the monthly candle is finally red. And this is also important, just kind of thinking about the broader context. These two green months looked very promising. Now we're kind of petering out. And notice we were not able to get to this high. So what does that create? It creates a double top / lower high situation, right? I mean, you can literally draw the trend line and see the slope, right? That is literally what a downtrend looks like, right? We were not able to make a higher high. We instead made a higher low, or excuse me, we made a lower high, right? So we were not able to get back above this level. So we're kind of sloping down. So that's really dangerous. And we have a really long candle here, which means it's going to be important to look at those lower time frames. And of course, this really long monthly candle is being caused by these especially this really big weekly candle. In this case, it's a bullish outside candle. So we do have really clear levels. We're going to have to keep watching this daily. Like this consolidation here is what caused this kind of candle. It looks like it's just kind of going back and forth. So this is a good case of having to kind of really watch those lower time frames to get a sense of what's happening. And if we look at the broader uranium picture, again, same kind of idea. This is a look at daily charts across the board. So kind of like most of them actually closed green. CCJ did not, but the URA, the ETF did. GoviX did. Fission Uranium did. Paladin did not. NextGen was a dragonfly. UEC did. Denison also did. But also all mostly with like upper wicks, especially Denison. Pretty aggressive upper wick, really. And if we look at the monthly, I believe we're all still red. Yeah. And that's important. Paladin is the only one that's green. So if we're talking about outperformance, definitely Paladin. And wow, this is a nice little bull flag here. So, right. And I think I may have mentioned this in the previous one. So you could say that this little bull flag is kind of breaking out here with this move. So that's actually interesting. If you really had to be long a uranium name right now, it would be Paladin. I mean, this looks like, what is your all-time high kind of level? You're like looking at a move, like something like back up to here. Right. That's nice. It's like 950. We'll have to check though how the market cap kind of looks and that kind of thing. It's always important to understand that, like, are these shares like sort of massively diluted? But on its face, this little bull flag could resolve up there, right? Like you can imagine something like like even that and then that, right? I mean, we'll see, like how long it takes to kind of get there. But I mean, look at this move. Wow. I mean, if you kind of document this, it's like then we got a little pullback, we got a little pullback, little pullback, little pullback, little pullback, right? And then we started to move lower, lower high, another lower high, another lower high, consolidation, chop, double top, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? Like we start to move lower, and then we would go up here, up. That's a trap. We make a lower high, and then so that's the way to kind of think about it, right? Like this was a long period of just wilderness, and we may be out of that, with like the long term structural kind of tailwinds for uranium. So Paladin is definitely one to watch.